Good evening, everyone, once again. And we are just going to start this session. And this is a last demonstration session in this series. And from next Friday, this coming Friday, we are just going to start this session dedicatedly. So today I'm just going to demonstrate one very interesting subject, like how to host a website. How to host website. I'll take two methods. So in first method, I'll use Ec2 Instance to host a website. And secondly, I'll use a simple storage service, which is called S3 service to host your website. This is very interesting for beginners, and you will really enjoy this, and you will definitely learn few points. If you have any question, you please let me know. So guys, we can start now. So the first thing is we need to talk about a little bit about storages. What are storages? So I'm just opening actually my board. So this is really very interesting board. Okay. Okay, I'll explain. Virendra, I'll explain. So this is a demonstration. I think if you have attended my last demonstration, we explained about this Ec2 instance, not Ec2 device. This is an Ec2 instance. Okay. Hosting a static website. Static website. So we are using two methods to host the static website. Number one is storage, object level storage. I'll tell you what is an object level storage. Storage. And second, we will use virtual machine. That virtual machine is known as Ec2 instance. Using Ec2 instance. Right. So these are the two methods we are just going to use to host a website. And we are going to host a static website. So, okay, guys, first of all, we'll talk about storages. Storages in AWS. So we have three different kind of storages in AWS. So definitely I'll explain about these storages later on, but I just naming here. Number one is block storage. Second one is object storage. And finally, third one is file system storage. So we have three different kind of storages in AWS. Correct? File storages or file system storage. File system storage. How many types of EC2 can handle? I'll explain. I think that is a different topic. Today we are talking about storage services. So we have three different kind of storages. Correct, guys? Block storage, object level storage, and file system storage. Block storages we are using with Ec2 instance as a hard disk. So you can say this is a kind of a hard disk with Ec2 instance. We call it as EBS storage. EBS stands for elastic block storage. Storage. Correct? This is an elastic block storage. And second storage that we are going to discuss today, it's a S3. It's an object level storage. It's called simple storage service, or sometimes we call it as S3 storage. So, or you can say storage over the internet. AWS storage over the internet. So these are some names we are using, and sometimes we call it as a flat storage system. Wow. We have three names. Call it as simple storage service, S3 storage, AWS storage over the internet, and sometimes we call it as a flat storage. It means this, I'm just going to explain you what is an object level storage. You can store and retrieve, first of all, any amount of data in S3 storage. And it can be accessed from the internet. It is a reliable online storage which supports all type of content. You can store movies in it, pictures, audio file, video files, right? Program files, your binary files, your documents, any kind of data. You have data and you can store in S3 storage. S3 storage is known as object storage. So the files in this storage are known as objects. Very important. Files in this storage are known as object. So S3 provides developer access to the same highly scalable, fast, cheap, reliable, and accessible data storage infrastructure on AWS. So by default, it is highly scalable. You have not to use any scalability to use S3 storage. S3 is easy to use and easy to manage. Using S3, you can create folders, and these folders in S3 are known as bucket. Very interesting. I'm just going to just explain you, but before that, let me tell you what is file system. File system means it supports to, let's say we have two services, AWS EFS, and another is FSX. These are two services, and these two services are known as file system storage. Means if you are seeking network attached storage in AWS, you have these two services, AWS EFS and FSX. So these are providing network attached storages, or you are providing these features, you are getting these features. So today I'm just talking about S3 storage. See here, what is the S3 storage? S3 stands for simple storage service. So what you get in? Actually, using this service, first of all, this service is a global service. So very few things I'm telling, I'm not explaining too much. Let's say this is a service. This S3 service is a global service. It's a global service. Global means it's not a region specific, it's a global service. So you can access from anywhere for any region, is this S3 service, number one. Number two, within this S3, you can create buckets. I'm just telling you what are the buckets. Buckets are basically folders. And you can create multiple buckets here in S3 storage, AWS S3 storage. So folders, the immediate folders in S3 are known as buckets. Okay. So you can create 100 maximum 100 buckets in maximum. This is the kind of a quota. That quota can be increased if you required but by default, maximum 100 buckets in S3 storage can be created, right? Yeah. So this is the default quota. If you're using free tier account, so you can maximum create 100 buckets. So within these 100 buckets, you can create folders. So let me tell you how I can just explain you. Let me connect my, just give me 1 minute. Let me connect my whiteboard. That will give you more precise picture here about storage. It will be easier for me to just explain. I'm generally using my board to explain. Graphically, you can better understand what's happening here instead of using much theory. Okay. So guys, let's say you have number of buckets. So I created 2 buckets here. This way you can create maximum 100 buckets. And I told you this is a global service. Okay. And in these you can create buckets. And every bucket has a unique name, globally unique name. Every bucket. So let's say every bucket. So every bucket has globally unique name. Globally unique name. Unique name, right? So you cannot duplicate the bucket name. For example, let's say you created one bucket in your account and the bucket name is student. So that student name, no one can use on AWS global infrastructure. So that's why I'm saying it's a globally unique name for every bucket. And within the bucket, so bucket is definitely inside your S3 storage. So this is the immediate folder. Within this, if you want, you can create further folders. So let's say these are further nested folder, means folder inside folder, right? So these are folders. So these are folder names. So I can say these are folders. So this is a folder, this is a folder. And within these folders and in bucket, you can have your files. So let's say these are files, and these files are known as object. And any amount of data, any means any amount of data can be uploaded. So the data can be in GBs, TBs, EBs, right? So any amount of data. So these are basically files, and files are known as objects. Files are known as objects. So all these are objects. So this color is showing that these are files, and we call them as objects, right? And these objects are accessible over the internet. So this is a simple diagram. I'm just trying to explain you what is a bucket. So why we're calling it the bucket? Because it's a globally unique, and it's accessible, and it's a unique. Okay. And S3 is a global AWS global service, and maximum 100 buckets you can create. So this is very simple. So first of all, we will learn how to create bucket in S3. And secondly, we will try to understand some or few properties about S3. So let's say, so very first question is how to create bucket, right? Bucket in S3. I'm not using right now presentation. So this is a really good thing. And first of all, I'll create a bucket here. I'll create a bucket. So let's say this is a bucket. And within the bucket, I'll create folders, or I'll upload some data. I'll upload some data here. I will upload some data. Upload some data, and the data is known as object, or you can say files. And then the second thing, I'll share this data. I'll share this data, sharing data over the internet, so you can access internet. So it's very easy, but please do not compare this S3 storage with Google Drive or OneDrive, because Google Drive and OneDrive are the storages attached usually with emails, or email to store emails, photos, and your some other data. But this S3 storage can be used over your professional environment, and where the programmers are using to share codes, and you are streaming your data, you are transferring your data, and this can be a part of CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so we will discuss about all those applications, and to maintain versioning, we can use S3 storage. So this is not a specific operating system storage, and you cannot directly use this storage as a drive with Ec2 instance or virtual machine. We already spoke about Ec2 instance in my last demonstration. If you have an access here, you can see the last video. And today I'm just going to tell what is this S3 and how you can create. So guys, so let me show you. So let's say this is your AWS account. So yeah, this is very first screen of AWS account called AWS Management Console. And if you see the list of services, under this list of services, we have group of services like compute is a group of service, container is a group of service, storage is a group of service. And under storage, we have different storage services like S3, EFS, FSX, correct? So I was talking about S3. So today we are talking about S3. Click on S3. As you click on S3 dashboard will be open. And in my account, actually, if you see right corner of the screen, you did see that this is a global is written. I'm not using any specific region because Amazon S3 service is a global service. That's you're saying it's a global. And we have total 10 number of buckets. Means at present, I have 10 buckets in my account. So if you want to create a bucket, there is a button called Create Bucket. Click on Create Bucket. It will ask you a name of the bucket. Please remember, the bucket name should be globally unique. No capital letters are required and means allowed. So you can find out the naming convention rule here. So brackets are not allowed or upper cases are not allowed. So you can simple write just like in a domain name. Let's say I want to create network in s3.com. Let's say this is, I'm assuming that this name is available for me. So I gave this name. And you need to choose this bucket. S3 service is global. Yeah, please do understand. S3 service is global bucket, but when you create a bucket, you always choose a region. Because region is what? Region is a separate geographic location. So I'm selecting a region in which region this bucket you want to create. So we have the list of region. I'm choosing North Virginia region. And this is your ACL is applied. By default, this bucket is private, correct? So ACL is applied on this. You can see. So already all access are blocked. But I want to create this bucket as a public bucket. So I'm not changing right now this permission. I'm going down. So all these are properties. Let it be as it is for now. And finally, you click on Create Bucket. As you click on Create Bucket, the bucket is created. What was the name of the bucket? The bucket name was networkings3.com. And you can see the bucket and objects not public. So this bucket by default is private. And you want to share the data. And first of all, we will see how to upload some files in this bucket. Click here. As you click here, you are inside of this bucket. Correct? Right now, there is no object. It means there is no file. This bucket by default is empty. Now you can click on upload. As you click on upload, now you can select some files to upload. Let me select some files. Say I'm selecting some files. Can we have some pictures? Let me see. Okay. I'm just uploading some files. Correct? Let's say these are 4 small files. These are keys files for me. And I'm uploading them. I click on upload and you can see very quickly these files have been uploaded. Now you got this message, upload succeeded. Close it and you can find these files are uploaded. So these files are known as objects and you want to share these files. Let me share. Do we have any picture to share here? Yes, let me see. Do we have any picture? Just give me a minute here. We have some website templates, of course. We can upload those templates, right? Either you can upload those templates, but I'm interested in to just show you if we have some picture, it's really good. No issue. I'm uploading this template. Okay, so I'm uploading this template. Let's say this is a template I have. And this template contains some folders. Within the folders, we have some files. Again, we have folder. So we have complete static website here. So what I'm doing, I'm just selecting all these files, right? I'm selecting all these files. You can just pick and just drop here. Okay, drag and drop. Simply you just drag and drop. So all these files have been selected, right? And you can just click on upload. As you click on upload, you would see these files are being uploaded. So definitely these files, this structure is a little complicated, in which we have some folders. In folders, we have further files, we have folder. So this is a complete template of one static website in which total 68 files are there. It depends on your network speed also. It should not take more than 1 or 2 minutes. It checks the basically consistency, the data you are storing. And by default, whatever you are storing on AWS S3, so this particular data is replicated on multiple availability zone. More than 3 availability zone, this data automatically replicated. So AWS is not charging for those 3 storages. AWS is charging only for 1 storage, but to maintain redundancy and resiliency, automatically AWS store your data in 3 different availability zones. Yes, S3 is paid. I didn't see your questions. Okay, no issue. Yes, Vijay, S3 is paid. Virendra, transfer rate will be according to, yes, the transfer rate according to speed. So now close it. And this is your uploaded data. And you want to share it. For example, you want to share it. Let's say I'm just picking one file. But before that, you have to remove the ACL which is implemented on this bucket. So go to permission. We have a permission tab. We have few tabs here for this bucket: objects, properties, permission, metrics, management, and access points. So you can click on permissions. As you click on permission, so you have to remove this permission, and this permission making this bucket private. But we want to share the data over the internet. So what I'm doing, I'm just clicking on this edit, and I'm removing this ACL from this bucket. And now you can change the setting. You can change the setting, and finally you need to write confirm here. Write confirm, click on confirm. And finally, the status of this S3 bucket has been changed. Now you can see block all public access mode is off. It means ACL has been removed from this bucket. Great. So once it is done, go back on objects where your files are stored. Let's say I'm picking one file. This is not a picture file. This is a just content file. Let's say this is the file I'm selecting. This is SYN Ohio. And I'm just going to click on actions. And very last option, you see, make this object public. So you can select this make public option, click on this, and just make it public. So what did you make public? One object. And what is the name of that object? Anyone? What was the object name? The object name was SYN Ohio, right? So as you click on this, you will find information about this file. So this is a file which is known as object, and you get URI related to this object. You get ARN. ARN is basically AWS resource name. So this link can be used in programs to access this file. Or if you want to access this file over the internet, you can use this link. This is called URL. I'm using this URL and I'm just writing this URL on browser and press enter. You can see the file has been downloaded. Did you see that? The file has been downloaded. And even if you use this link and you press enter in the browser, you can see you can download this file very easily. So why I'm just telling you, this was the file. That's why the download was permitted. This was not a picture file. Correct? Next is, can we use some other thing? Yes. Now go to the S3. This was the bucket. Correct. And this is the template of your static website that you already uploaded in this bucket. So what I want to do, I want to use this bucket to configure a static website. So how to configure a static website? Now, I just provide how to configure bucket to publish website, publish static website. Okay. So already that static content you have uploaded, in which we have index.html, and we have all these folders as well as website related files here. So you go to objects here. In objects, after objects, we have properties. So you have to click on properties button. You click on properties and just scroll down. So bucket versioning is a basically feature of this bucket. Then you can do encryption using this bucket. You can encrypt your data. And we have different kind of classes. I'll talk about all these things. And you just go very last. So you see the very last option. The very last option is static website hosting. Correct. But right now, the static website hosting for this S3 is disabled. You have to enable it. Right inside, we have an edit button. Click on the edit button and you enable this feature for this particular bucket. So now static website hosting for this bucket has been enabled. It is asking that we have the two hosting types. One is hosting a static website, or you can redirect request for an object. It means this can be used with DNS service. Now I'm just using the first option, host a static website. And what is the index document name? So according to the static content we uploaded for static website, in this we had a file index.html. So I'm just writing the name of that index document, which is index.html, and just do provide error.html. In case if you have any error, it will run this document. So guys, just scroll down and click on save changes. As you click on save changes, so this particular bucket is configured to host a static website. Now only one small change is remaining. You go to object and just select all the content you have in one go. You select all the content in one go and go to action and make your content public. And make your content public because you want to access this website from the internet. So you are making the content public. Total 66 objects, 72 objects successfully edited. Okay. And now right inside we have close option. You close this page, and finally this has been published. And now you need to check whether this website is hosted or not, you will go back to properties to check the URL, to select the URL. You will use one URL. So this is the URL, very last. You will use this URL to access the website. Okay, so I'm copying the URL and I'm sharing among you people. I'm sharing this URL among you people and just try and see, are you able to access the website without any server? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Great. So I didn't use any server. I didn't use any Apache server. I didn't use any particular operating system machine. So this particular storage directly allows you to host a static website. And if you deal with Lambda functions, even dynamic website can be managed here. So this is a static website. If you scroll down, you can see all these links are properly working. Okay.
And domain name would be just that storage name, the S3 storage?
No. We will use a DNS service. DNS service is the DNS service name is root 53. If you want to open this website with the domain name, we have to configure root 53 service. We must have one domain name. So first of all, we will purchase one domain name, and then we will create hosted zone in the root 53 to open this website using domain. Correct?
Correct. But this storage already have a domain name. If I just want to stick with this domain and say,
we can change it. We can change. I'll tell you, because if you just buy any domain name from, let's say you are using GoDaddy, you go to the GoDaddy and you buy a domain name. By default, what people do, they buy some hosted space over there, which is not required if you have AWS account. And if you want to use AWS account, you can use only the domain name from there. But in case if you have already hosted the space and you have a domain name, so how to make a mapping between GoDaddy and AWS, that I'll tell you in detail in Route 53. Correct? I think this is clear.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Most welcome. So this is a very simple website. I took a very small template here, but everything is working fine. I'm good with this. Okay. And one more thing. Now the same structure, the same website, I want to host with the help of Ec2 Instance. What is an Ec2 Instance? Ec2 Instance is a virtual machine. Ec2 is a service which is known as Elastic Compute Cloud. If you click on EC2, so this EC2 dashboard is opened. In my North Virginia region, right now, I'm in North Virginia, correct? I'm in North Virginia. If you want to change the region, you are open to change the region. You can work in any region. Let's say I'm choosing North Virginia, and I'm just launching a new instance here. Let's say this is a little bit lengthier for if you are new, but definitely it's a part of demonstration. It should not bother you. I just go and just click on launch instance. I'm using Linux instance. So very first AMI means Amazon Machine or template of instance I'm using. Instance type is T2.micro by default. This is available free of cost if you are using AWS free tier account, in which you are getting one virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. I feel it is okay for me. I just click next. And this is the network setting in which I'll get one public IP address here and one default network setting. So I'm not again making any change in step 3. Go and click on add storage. Storage is your EBS volume, or this storage acts like a hard disk with your EC2 instance. So by default, because you are using Linux instance, so by default, you have 8 GB recommended space, but maximum 30 GB you can take in free tier account. I'm okay with 8 GB right now. Click on next. now add tag. Let's say I want to give the name to this machine. Let's say my web server, or you can say NK web server, and click on right hand side bottom, you have configure security group. Security group, I told you in my last demonstration that this is external firewall for your EC2 instance. And because you are using Linux operating system, by default port number 22 is open. But I want to configure this machine as a web server. So you will click on add rule. You click on add rule and just click on HTTP, right? And HTTP, and this should be available or accessible from anywhere over the internet. That's why in source I'm taking anywhere. So all IP are applicable to access this my machine over the internet. Review and launch, and finally you are reviewing the setting you have done for this instance, and click on launch. As you click on launch, in last step it is asking you to create a key. Let's say I'm creating a key, NK, let's say 14th July key. Okay, NK 14th July key. I download the key. You can see the page you tried was not found. Wow. The page you tried not found, and this method is not allowed. I'm just trying it again. What's happened? What happened? Does something happen wrong here? Again, let me see. Because I'm taking too much time here. Go to instance. I just do launch instance. I just click on Amazon Linux. Again, I'm just doing it and choose an instance type, right? I'm okay with instance configuration or the configuration instance detail. Storage is 8 GB, okay for me. And this is the name I was given, right? Let's say I'm just writing web server 01. I'm just writing the name. And security group, you are changing, you are making some changes in security group. You are choosing HTTP from anywhere. I'm just finally reviewing and launching the instance. I don't know why it was not taken last time. Let's say NK 10000. I'm just taking this name and just download the key. What was bad? Something is really bad. You may type the address incorrectly. So something is bad. It is not working. Can I change this? Let me see why it is not working. Nothing is wrong. Everything is okay from my side. So I can change my region. Let me see. The region is a problem because of region. Maybe. It doesn't happen usually. I didn't see this kind of error. It was, I'm just selecting HTTP from anywhere, launch, and let me take a key. Let's say I'm taking key, let's say 4809 key, another name, right? And you can download the key pair. Should not happen this time. Yes, this was something wrong with that North Virginia. Now this is working. Now perfect. So you can launch. No issue. I'm using another region. So you can scroll down and view the instance, and you would see the instance is almost ready. It is in pending state. Meantime, you can write its name. Let's say web server. Save the name of this instance. This instance is running. Now we can take the remote of this instance. Okay. So very simple. So this instance is running, and this is the public IP address of the instance, and this is the private IP address of the instance. And this instance has been launched, and I used Linux operating system. And we had security group in which port number 80 is open to publish a web page. So guys, I'm selecting this instance, go to connect, And this is the username ec2-user, and this is the public IP address automatically came. You will click on connect button here, right? You will click on connect button, and I see, yeah, I took the remote of this instance successfully, correct? I took the remote of this instance successfully. Now it's time to configure this machine as a server. Very simple. Right now, I'm basically a EC2 user. So I can write, who am I? Who am I? It will tell you are EC2 user. So write sudo su space hyphen to switch as a root user. Now I'm a root user, and we need to see, do we have HTTP package already installed in my machine? So I'll write httpd rpm space hyphen q httpd. And I did see the package is not installed. So you have to install this package, and you will use internet repository. And this machine has internet connection already prepared. So you will directly run a command in order to install httpd package, yum install httpd space hyphen y. You are giving permission to install package in this machine, and you will press enter. As you press enter, you would see this package has been installed. Very great. So in a few seconds, this package has been installed. Now you clear the screen. You clear the screen. Again, you need to confirm that rpm hyphen q http. Now you can see this time this command finds this HTTP package in your EC2 instance. Now it's time to start the service. In order to start the service, you will write systemctl, because this service is just installed. So this service is not running. So in order to start the service, you will write systemctl start and write the name of the service httpd.service and press enter. So this command successfully executed. Now the status of this command is in running mode. And again, one more command you need to run. Let's say systemctl enable httpd.service. You are enabling this service for next restart. So this also has been executed. Now you need to know the status of the service in this EC2 instance. So you will run command systemctl and see status of httpd.service command service. And you can see the command is, this service is running, this service is enabled and active. So you successfully installed httpd package in this machine, and you enable that httpd package service. So now you will configure one simple index.html page. And if you have template of the website, you can even upload the template of the website. So I'm just showing you in two ways. So first of all, you just go to where www HTML directory. So this is the directory which is responsible where you will keep the template of website. So right now, at this moment, you see this directory is blank. There is no index.html or there is no template of operating system. So manually, if you want to test whether this server is working as a web server or not, you will write a simple command, echo, and writing, let's say, this is my first web server, and you're transferring this line in index.html. So this command will create index.html file, and this command also will store this line in this index.html. If you press enter here, you would see, just confirm using ls-l command, this index.html file has been created successfully. And the service is already running. So guys, I'm just muting you people. I think some disturbance I'm facing. So please don't mind. Now we are just going back we are just going back to see the public IP address of this instance. So this is the public IP address of the instance, 181.116.4038, right? So I'm just copying this public IP address and I'm pasting this IP address on your chat. So please just find this IP address, copy this IP address, and try to run in your computer and let me know, are you watching any output using this particular IP address on your browser? Yes, I can see. And it is written here, this is my first website. I'm just waiting for your response. Did you try? Yes. Great. So according to my configuration, this server, this EC2 instance has been configured as a web server. And if you want to transfer any data from S3 to configure or to transfer template of website, this EC2 instance need permission, because S3 is a one service and EC2 is another service. In AWS, these two services cannot communicate without any permission. So right now, I'm not using any user within this EC2 instance. So I'm not using any IAM user, means AWS user. And you can see in detail, if you just click on detail of this EC2 instance, I don't even have any role attached with this EC2 instance, which provides the permission to access their resources. So S3 is a different service, EC2 is a different service. So both services cannot communicate each other until you provide permission. So the permission can be either provided through IAM user or IAM role. Let's say I'm using role. So what I'm doing, in short, I'm just trying to explain from here. Let's say I'm going to open IAM. Just to write IAM in search, you will have service IAM, open it. I'm in Ohio, correct? And we are going to create a role, and this role will allow our EC2 instance to get or to copy data from S3. So quickly what I'm doing, this is a role. And do we have role? We need to create a role. Click on create role. So we are creating a role for, let's say, EC2 service. Click on EC2 and get the permission. We have a permission right bottom. And let's say you are providing S3 full access permission. So you write S3 here. And we have the permission called S3 full access. So I'm just selecting this S3 full access permission for this role. So you can click on next and you can give the name. Let's say you are giving the name. Let's say NK role 14th July. Wow. So let's say this is the option. This is the value you gave. Now click on next. And the same value you are copying here to provide as a role name, NK role 14 July. Now you can click role. So this role has been successfully created. Wow. What was the role name? The role name was this, NK role 14. So we are going back to EC2 instance, right? And now we need to add or attach that role with this EC2 instance. So this instance has been selected here. Once it is selected, go to action. And we have security. Under security, we have modify IAM role. Under IAM role, we have that newly created role, and the role name was NK role 14 July. I selected the role and saved the setting. As you click on save the setting, now if you refresh the screen and click your machine, you will find that the role has been successfully attached with this EC2 instance, right? And once this role has been attached with this EC2 instance, now this EC2 instance has a permission to access data from S3 service or S3 bucket. Okay. So guys, it's very simple. In S3, we have already one bucket. What was the bucket? Bucket name? I already created a bucket, right? And the bucket name was networkingss3.com. And this bucket contains some files, and these files pertaining to one static website, or you can say this is a template of one static website. Correct. And you please remember this name, networkingss.com. And you want to just copy this data from S3 to EC2 instance. You are going back, and you are taking this EC2 instance remote once again, right? We actually switch as a sudo SE user again. Now we change to where www and HTML folder. Once we are in this folder, now you can run a command, AWS S3, and you need to sync this command. You can use a sync command to copy data or to sync data from S3 bucket to your present directory. Right now, I want to copy the data in present directory. So S3 : // and this is the name of the bucket you want to use. So this bucket contains my data. So I want to take data from this bucket in space, and I want to copy in my present working directory. That's why I'm just using space dot here and press enter. As you press enter, if everything is okay, this should work. Is it working or not? No, it is not working. You can just write AWS S3, AWS S3 ls. It is working or not? This is working fine. This is perfectly okay. AWS S3. You can sync rsync S3 : // maybe I might have used a different kind of. No, this is not working. This is not working. Maybe it is because of name I used. What the name I used is correct. AWS sync. So this is a source location, right? This is a source location. You just give me 1 minute. Maybe I need to check whether it's okay. Okay means my connection should be okay, because earlier I was facing the same issue, right? Just give me 1 minute. I think this should work. AWS S3 sync is perfect. You can just write S3 // Yeah, something is wrong. Yeah, I can see. EWD, it's okay. I'm writing only AWS S3 and sync, or I need to restart the machine. Sync. It should work. SYNC. Maybe I was using some spelling mistake. No. Just a minute. What is the name of the bucket? Let me see. The bucket name. I should copy it from here again. Maybe spelling error. You just paste it here, right? This is 100% correct. And now you can just write dot here and it should work. Right. This should work. No, that will work. So this command was correct earlier. See, there was some spelling mistake. There was some spelling mistake because this is case sensitive even. And if when you type, you sometimes do spelling mistakes. So this has been copied the data from S3, right? And just say ls-l. And this is the complete data you copied from S3. And if you use the same IP address again, I gave you an IP address to access the website, correct or not? So this is the same IP address. I'm just sharing again. You just use this IP address and let me know this time what you see. You see that single line or complete website. Earlier you were watching this one. So this was a single line as a testing. As a testing, I use this line. But if you are using this time, you can see the complete website has been hosted on this EC2 instance. So you had two ways. But why we are using EC2 instance when you can easily host your website using S3 bucket? The problem is S3 bucket has limitation. In S3 bucket, you can host only static website. However, in EC2 instances, static as well as dynamic instances, both can be uploaded, correct? Or both can be used. So this was a very simple demonstration. You might have learned about this. And now, if you want, you can stop this. If you want to delete this bucket, what we can do, we can just select all the content. I'm deleting this bucket. So how to delete the bucket? So you will select all the content and just click on delete. It will ask you, you are deleting. So you are deleting all this stuff permanently. So write permanent delete here, click on delete objects, and finally, all these objects successfully deleted from this bucket. Now your bucket is totally empty. And this is the bucket name, correct? You copy the bucket name, come out from the bucket name, right? From the bucket, select the bucket, and now delete the bucket. You can just click here, you write the name of the bucket, and finally you click on delete bucket. The bucket has been deleted successfully. You see, now you do not have that bucket. Correct? And this is your EC2 instance. This is the EC2 instance. So this EC2 instance is publishing that static website. And now what I'm doing to stop this instance, no, it is running from Rohit, it is running from the instance, not from the bucket. Correct? You are using IP address to access this. Okay, so this is the web server, and now you terminate the instance. You are terminating the instance permanently. You are deleting it. So the demonstration is completed here. So we learned two things. So you launched one website using two methods. So this website was static. So with the help of S3, you hosted the site, and with the help of EC2 instance, you hosted the site. And this finally is shutting down. And guys, so next Friday, we are just this Friday we are just going to start this batch, and we have very limited number of seats available. So please do not miss this chance. And we are just going to learn a lot of things. So guys, I think you hope how many days, I think these in total, I think all these information you can get from my team. They will tell you, they have some calculation, everything. They have calculation, they will explain you. So guys, how was the demonstration? Did you learn something here? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.